What's going on, guys? It's your man Ed Hayes, the wholesale coach here, and in this video I'm going to show you all how to virtually wholesale houses all across the nation, guys, from home. If you're pumped for this video, go ahead and drop a like on this video right now, guys, and let's go ahead and get to the content. Alright, guys, so I'm going to dive right into this, and if you have any questions as we go along, drop them in the comment box down below, guys. So when I start off virtually wholesaling in any new area, before I get started, I like to gather certain pieces to the puzzle, guys. So as you can see right here, these are the pieces to the puzzle. I like to start off with house hunters. I like to establish a team of house hunters, and I like to establish a team of cold callers immediately. And I use an independent contractor agreement to hire those people on. So they aren't paid up front. I'm not paying them weekly base pay or anything like that. It's just 100% commission. And I put the house hunter ad on Craigslist, and I put the cold caller ad on Indeed.com. And when I use the cold caller ad, I make sure that they have 2 years of sales experience. And it's not required, but it's preferred that they have at least 1 year of real estate experience as well, guys. The house hunters, I typically put that on Craigslist under the Craigslist under the labor gig section. So, and then once I establish this team, this part of the process takes a little bit of time. After I bring on the house hunters and the cold callers, I like to establish my field guy. So I want to get this person off of Craigslist as well, and I want to get my money phone up and running. So a money phone would be considered a phone number that you can get from Google Voice. Google Voice is absolutely free to get a phone number from them. You can also use paid services such as Vumber or Freedom Voice. They aren't too expensive, guys, only about like 10 to 20 bucks between the paid services. They're typically pretty cheap, and you get a couple phone numbers typically. Honestly, I just recommend getting Google Voice if it's only going to be one phone number and you're only conducting business on that phone. And if you want to get rid of that intro where it asks for the individual's name, you have to get online on the Google Voice website and change that setting, guys. So I know a lot of people don't like that. So there you go. Set up that money phone. From there, get yourself a CRM. You can either use Copper or Zoho. You can even just use G Suite, so you can be able to organize your leads as they begin to come in and be able to really keep track of everything that's going on in your organization. And then lastly but not leastly, guys, establishing relationships with these individuals right here. So first and most importantly are your cash buyers. In that particular area where you want to be investing in, you want to start reaching out to cash buyers so you could begin to get their criteria. If you've been watching my content for a while, you kind of know how I like to get their criteria and go about gathering cash buyers. Number two would be realtors. And those would be, whether they helped the person sell or buy the property, those individuals can definitely come in handy for you when you're establishing a virtual wholesale team. They can also get you accurate comps, and they'll know the area, so that will help you out a lot. Get yourself a title company in the area that's wholesale friendly. Establish that relationship with them in advance. Another piece to the puzzle is an attorney, so they can look over your contracts and your documents in that area or in that state that you're wholesaling in, and make sure that your contracts are valid for that state and that you're covering all of your bases, dotting your I's and crossing all your T's, guys. Be prepared. And the contractor that can give you a repair budget bid on the property, so you have accurate numbers as far as the repairs are concerned, guys. Also, so I just want to mention that this money phone is just going to be used for business purposes. It's called the money phone because every time that it rings, you know that it's money calling you. So I recommend if you have a different phone number on your same phone, change the ringtone. So then every time that phone rings, hey, that's money. Let me get myself where I need to be, or let me get in the the mind state necessary to actually do this properly. And I also want to mention that all of this stuff is going to take some time, okay? So like this is kind of like your research in advance. Establishing the relationships with the cash buyers is going to give you the basis that you need to be able to know which properties, which areas, and like the value of the properties and things of that nature. This is the very first thing that you really want to do, is establish the relationship with your cash buyers so they can tell you which areas they're most interested in investing in, and what type of properties and which properties or which areas and types of properties they like to stay away from and things of that nature, so you can know exactly where to be targeting and where to send your house hunters and where to get your lists from once you start generating leads. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and go to the next step, guys. All right, guys, so I just want to dive a little bit deeper into how to get some quality cash buyers in those states where you want to virtually wholesale. So here's the option that I typically use if I'm going to jump into anywhere. Is going to be hopping onto FreedomSoft, and I'm going to search that state, and I'm going to go through the counties and cities, and I'm going to find the areas with the most cash buyers in the last 90 days using FreedomSoft. From there, I can download that entire list and I can send those leads over to my skip tracer, or I can just send direct mail out to those buyers and reach out to them. They'll be calling me back. The second way is Craigslist. Go into the real estate wanted section. So first you're going to want to go to the housing wanted section, and from that same drop down menu, once you get to housing wanted, you go down to real estate wanted, and that's where you can find a lot of the real life cash buyers in your city. The next idea after that is using AutoGrow, which is my dedicated high quality buyer and seller lead system, where I send you automatic high quality leads that 40 to 60, a lot of times like 80% of the leads are already skip traced for you, and they're much cheaper than most people. So this is actually the one that I really recommend more than any other ones. Not trying to toot my own horn, but this will get you up and running the fastest, honestly. Then your website, you can have your website going and you have that optimized to be able to get you some leads. I highly recommend using an on-carrot website, just because it's already optimized for search engine optimization, and when you throw just a little bit of Google ads behind it, you'll start to generate some clicks and potentially some cash. And definitely some cash buyers. So like the websites definitely work good for cash buyers. And then social media, guys, on Facebook and Instagram, just posting saying, hey, I'm looking for cash buyers. And I didn't write on here as well, realtors, reaching out to realtors in that area and asking them if they have any cash buyers who are interested as well. All right, guys, let's go to the next step. All right, guys, so I just want to be very clear here. Before you actually press play on your marketing, what I would recommend is already knowing your buyer's criteria. You want to work from the buyer's perspective backwards. So know your buyer's criteria is first. Number one thing to do on the list of things to do to get these virtually wholesale deals closed quickly, guys. Number two is have your house hunters and your cold callers lined up. This could take up to 3 to 10 days, guys, honestly, and like some people have taken substantially longer than that. So what I recommend is give yourself a mental deadline of having your entire team of house hunters and cold callers set up within 7 days or less, guys, honestly. Don't let this drag out and not have your team established, and a month has went past and you haven't actually established your team. It's your team, this is your business, guys. Take action, move fast, speed is the key. Number three, have a realtor, contractor, and field guy lined up already. Make sure that they're available. The realtor can get you comps. The contractor will be able to provide a repair budget bid when it comes. And the field guy can go out and take pictures of the property, put bandit signs out near the property, things of that nature. Anything that you need a person on the field to do. And also have your CRM and your money phone ready to go as well. CRM would be something like Zoho or Copper, which are pretty much just systems online that allow you to put all of your leads in one place, and you can have your cold callers actually calling those your sellers and receiving calls from your buyers and things of that nature from one from one system, and all of the calls can be tracked. So take note of that. So once you have all of these things established, that's when you'll want to actually press play on your marketing. Okay, let's go to the next step. All right, guys, so this is pretty much how the flow goes from the whole process. So you start off with getting that criteria from your cash buyers, finding out where they want their properties from, most importantly. Next, you go ahead and you get you some house hunters specifically in those areas looking for those properties that your buyers are looking for. And you also go get you some lists, either using, like I told you earlier, List Source, REI Pro, My Auto Grow System. You go get yourself some lists immediately. And then from there, you get those leads skip traced. Okay, so if you get my leads, like 60% of them, sometimes even more than that, sometimes up to 80% of those leads are already skip traced. So that'll save you a lot of time and money. It's about 50 cents per person to skip trace. So if you have to skip trace an entire 500 person list, that's $250. If you get mine and you're getting 500 people, you only be skip tracing maybe about 150, maybe 200 numbers. So that's a huge difference in money. So anyway though, guys, you get that skip trace. From there, you go ahead and you start cold calling and you send direct mail. Once you have those phone numbers, you can start cold calling. You have the mailing addresses. You can instantly start sending direct mail as soon as you get these lists, no matter who you get them from. They always have the direct mail, their mailing address pretty much all of the time. Then you receive calls from your direct mail, and you also have your cold callers calling between 50 to 100 people per day. Now that's key because you definitely want them getting some volume going. So like between receiving the phone calls from your direct mail, you also want to be contacting those same people because you really want to be touching your sellers as many times as possible. A lot of times, guys, it takes between 5 to 12 times of contacting a seller or for them seeing your content or who you are before they're actually interested in working with you or actually signing the contract. So keep that in mind. So you contact the sellers either through the direct mail or having your cold callers calling, right? You contact sellers. From there, you have your field guy, contractor, and the seller all meet up at the property, and then you will get your video taken of the property. You'll get the budget. You'll have your budget noted, so you'll know how much your repair budget bid is, and you also get some comps from your realtor that you already have the relationship with. So then you go ahead and put that property under contract with the seller. You get the seller to agree to sell you the property at a very discounted rate. You put that property under contract. Once you get that property under contract, you already know that your buyers are looking for these types of properties in these areas. So you go ahead and you shoot that house over to the cash buyer. You let them know, hey, I've got a property for you. It's in this area, da 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 da. A lot of times they'll want to come see the property, but you'll have that video nonetheless. So a lot of times people will be willing to purchase properties without ever actually going into the property. That doesn't happen as much, but you can get some of these virtual deals sold without ever having anybody have to go meet the cash buyer at the property to actually show them the property. So like I said, you shoot the property over to the cash buyer, let them know that you have it, and that you want to assign it to them. They agree to actually buy the property. You get your earnest money deposit from that assignment fee up front. You go ahead, take those documents to title, you shoot those documents over to the title company from where you are, and then you go ahead and get your property closed on and get paid, guys. It's pretty much that simple, and it's wash, rinse, repeat, guys. So like I said, cash buyers, house hunters, and your list, skip trace those, cold call and send direct mail, receive those calls, make 50 to 100 calls yourself, contact those sellers. Get your field guy, your contractor, and your seller out there all at the same time. That's a 3-for-1 right there. And also get those comps from the realtor. Then go ahead and put the property under contract, shoot it out to your cash buyers, go ahead and get your assignment contract signed take it, push it all to the title company, guys, and go ahead and get closed. So that's pretty much it on that part. And now I'm going to break down the budget that you're going to need to actually be able to accomplish this goal. Okay, guys, I'm going to go through this quick budget analysis for this example property. So your cold callers, they're going to get $1,000 at commission. This is just what I charge. This is what I pay, I should say. Your house hunters will get between $500 to $1,000 upon closing as well. Your field guy will get $50 up front after he sends you the video of the property. For leads, if you use REI Pro, you're going to spend about if you use REI Pro, you're going to spend about $100 per month. You're going to get 10,000 leads, but none of them are going to be skip traced. And like I said, it's about 50 cents per lead on the skip tracing. So if you use ListSource, for $100, you'll get about 500 leads. But also none of them are skip traced either. They don't have phone numbers. REI Pro or ListSource doesn't have phone numbers, but they will have mailing addresses. So if you just want to do direct mail, that can work as well. I would recommend trying to have your cold callers established as well. Make your life a lot easier, but direct mail can work as well. If you use my auto grow system, for $100 a month, you'll get 1,000 leads per month, but most of those leads will be skip traced for you already. So more than 500 of those will be skip traced for you already with phone numbers, so you can instantly start calling. That's why it's called auto grow, guys. You can instantly get this stuff up and running. So for ListSource and REI Pro, just in general, if you want to get about 500 phone numbers, it's going to cost you about $250. That's why I highly recommend using auto grow, because you'll spend that just the same $100, but you'll get 500 phone numbers that you can be calling, as well as the mailing addresses and so on and so forth. Anyway though, guys, so lastly here, so the estimated cost of this entire project is going to be $1,500 at closing, paid to your cold callers and your house hunters. Your field guy will get $50 once he sends you the actual property, so that's an upfront cost. The leads will cost you about $100. That's an upfront cost. So those 150 is your only upfront cost. That's going to cost you about $1,650 total investment to actually be able to get these deals going like this. And then so you see the profit right here, guys. If you have $5,000 with the $1,650 investment, you will have earned $3,350 will be your net profit per deal if you're just getting a $5,000 assignment spread, which is the minimum that I'll accept on my deals. If you're doing a $10,000 assignment spread, then you're going to earn yourself $8,350 per deal if you use these strategies involved, guys. And like I said, it's only $150 up front, which is a huge difference from most gurus you hear out here promoting their programs, guys. So like I said at the beginning of the video, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment box down below. I will be more than willing to answer any questions that you may have. I'm going to answer every single one of them, so don't hesitate. I also want you all to know that I have some free wholesaling training that you can check out in the link down below as well, guys, and my free wholesale ebook. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already a part of this team. As you probably see videos all around me, click on one of those videos. Click on one of them. Go ahead and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys. I'll see you all soon. Until next time, I'm out.